All right, everyone, welcome to Rhythm and Roads Las Vegas. I'm Joshua Jacob. On today's show, we have a very special guest. She's actually a multiple winner of Best of Las Vegas, and she's the lead vocalist of the rock band OG8. Welcome the amazing Jaime Lynch to Rhythm and Roads Las Vegas.
Hello, thank you so much.
Hey, Jamie, pleasure to have you on the
Hi,
show. Yeah. So,
thank you.
yeah, thank you. And I got to say, I enjoyed the show, the recent show at the M Resort with Zowie Bowie.
Yes,
That was so much
yes.
fun. Oh my
Uh,
God.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for coming out. We really appreciate the support.
Oh, of course, no problem. And that's the thing about Rhythm and Roads here in Las Vegas is the fact that so many people see the shows, they hear the music, but what's the story? What's the story behind the artists, the performers, all that. So, and that's why we're here. So we want to get to know your story. So just how did it start for you, Jamie, in the beginning of just as you when you were young, getting into singing and that part, we can go from there.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, so for me, I actually grew up in Salt Lake City, Utah, of all places.
Oh, you did?
Born in
Okay.
yeah, born in Cali, but grew up in Utah. And then I grew up dancing, basically dancing, ballet, jazz, hip hop, that whole thing. I was a
Oh, cool.
dance competition kid, and we did all the dance stuff, and I did a little bit of acting growing up, but I never
Oh, you
really
did? Okay.
I never really sang a lot. I mean, I sang a little bit in the theater productions that I did and stuff like that, but singing wasn't my focus when I was growing up. It was more dance and acting.
Oh,
And
wow.
then when I was 19, I moved to Vegas to start dancing in a production show on the Las Vegas Strip.
Okay.
And I had a friend that who we grew up together in dance, and so she was out here in Vegas performing in the shows, and I just thought that was the coolest thing, the coolest
Yeah.
job, and it was, especially at that time.
Of course.
So I moved out to Vegas. I went and auditioned for a few different shows as a dancer, and then got into a show at the Stratosphere with my
Whoa.
friend. Yeah, and so I started out dancing in Vegas first, but I always had a desire to sing. And so once I moved to Vegas, I really started focusing on trying to learn how to use my voice and, really studying
Yeah.
like vocal dynamics and learning how to use the vocal cords and scales and all the things. So I was able to make that transition from a professional dancer into a professional singer. And it took me a minute to figure it out, but I did figure it out. And then since then, I've just been singing in Vegas, and now it's been like a million years.
Oh my God. That's incredible. See, I didn't even know you were a dancer too. That's how you started.
That is how I started. And so I
Wow.
always believe that, especially if there's any dancers who want to sing,
Yeah.
I just feel like go for it, because I just feel like if I can do it, because I really didn't start singing until I was probably 19, 20,
Wow.
which is
Really?
later for most singers, right? So I
Yeah.
think that if you really have a desire on your heart and in your mind, you should go for it, because I think that it's for you and it's yours to explore. And I just feel like it's a learned skill, and it's
Yeah.
something that you can do. And so I would just encourage anyone who wants to become a singer, or anything really, just to go for it and follow that path and follow that desire and see where it takes you.
Right. Well said. Wow. I just want to say thank you for sharing that part. And I totally agree. It's never too late to start, learn a new skill. It's never too late to go back to college and get that degree. Whatever it is that you want to do. So I love the fact that you added that, Jamie, to that because yes, you started late, but look where you're at now. I mean, you started at, you said 1920 and wow, that's a lot of from what people I've interviewed that are singers, they said, "Oh, I started at 4 years old," early, all that. But yeah, that's possible. Anything's possible. So thank you for sharing that.
Oh my gosh, my pleasure, of course. And and I was performing my whole
Yeah.
life, so it wasn't totally new, but yeah, I agree. I think anything is possible. And
Yeah.
I've always felt like I was kind of a late bloomer in any regard, really. But even now it's like I've been a singer and performer in Vegas, but I'm exploring and really trying to do original music.
Yeah.
And I'm in my 40s now. So it's like at any age, I would say go for it. You never know what can happen.
You're still young. 40 still young.
Thank you. Well, I'm not 40, but I'm in my 40s. I'll just say
Well,
that.
right, but I'm just saying in your 40s, it's still young.
No, I agree with that. I do agree
Yeah.
with that. I'm not saying it's older, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like
know what you
some
mean.
people
Yeah.
might be like, "Oh, you're trying." no, let's just take the age restriction off and let's
Yeah,
just go
please
for
do.
whatever we want, you know?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing for me. I'm 38 and I'm already this year I'll be 39. I'm like, oh my God, I'm reaching close
Yeah.
to 40. Like, oh my God. But that's the thing is you keep going. You keep going. You keep going, you'll never stop learning in this life until you leave this earth. And I feel like if you have that ability, the mindset, the strength, and to do what you can, uh, take the advantage of that. Learn that new skill, the art, go painting, new sport, whatever it is, was it pickleball, tennis, whatever it is, just have fun and just still live life. Don't let age or just what, something that's holding you back. Sometimes it could be finances, could be resources, but it doesn't cost so much to go out there and play tennis. It doesn't hurt to learn a new guitar chord or something of a song. You just never know, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah. And like, don't let your limitations or your limiting beliefs talk you out of even trying,
right.
don't let yourself talk yourself out of it before you've even attempted.
Totally agree. Yeah, because the last thing we want, I don't want to do it, is when I'm in my 70s and 80s, look back and just been like, man,
Yeah.
I wish I would have done this. I wish I had time to do this. I wish I would have at least tried. Because, if you tried something and you failed at it, that's okay. Because at least you tried it, right? Instead of not trying at all. Instead of just looking at or thinking about it and be like, no, I can't do it. Well, you already stopped yourself. So try it.
Yeah.
If you fail, that's okay because you tried it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And then you learn from it and you just keep moving forward,
That's right. You learn from it and you grow. Yeah. So I mean, but that's the thing. We all have what the different stages, right? The awkward stage, learning stage, and then you get into the instinctive stage. So just because you start something, you're in the awkward stage. So yeah, of course you're gonna beat yourself up and feel very awkward, like, oh my God, I can't do this. But
Yeah.
yeah, but as you continue and then you're in the learning stage after a few weeks, you're like, oh my God, like I'm getting the hang of this. And then the next thing you know, in 3 months or so, you're in the instinctive stage. You're like, oh shoot, now I'm teaching someone how to do this.
There you
And that's
go.
that's the journey of this life, helping others and teaching others. So,
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's that first stage too it's hardest because
oh,
you don't know what you're doing and we all
right.
like to feel like we know what we're doing. We don't want to put ourselves out there and look like idiots, but you kind of have to, all the
Yeah,
great artists and entrepreneurs and successful people are not afraid to fail and take those chances
that's
and
right. That's
or
right.
maybe they are afraid, but they do it anyway,
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. And they still do it anyway. Yeah, totally agree. Well said. Well, thank you on the journey of that with chapter one, season one, on the beginning of your story. That was
Season
great.
one.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah. And, I want to go into this area of just, I know you mentioned when I saw you on Friday that you were part of the Pussycat Dolls.
Yeah,
You want to share just a little bit of that? That's so cool that you're part of that show
absolutely.
out here. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was a really great experience and it was a huge part of my career,
Oh,
honestly.
I bet.
Um,
Yeah.
I did Pussycat Dolls for numerous amount of years here in Vegas. And for those of you who don't really know the story, I'm going to give you the shortened version.
Oh, yeah.
But basically, the Pussycat Dolls was created by a lady named Robin Anton, the whole group and brand. And it started out as a burlesque show in LA at the Viper Room.
Oh, wow.
And this
Okay.
this is before I was involved. This is how it kind of started. But just
Yeah.
to give a little background of how I fit into this. But so anyway, it got really popular in LA in the Vibe Room, and that's when Robin teamed up with Interscope and then created the recording group that we all know and love. And so the recording group started blowing up, and Robin wanted to bring the burlesque show to Vegas to kind of pay homage to that original show idea, her
Okay.
original group. And so she teamed up with Caesar's Palace and Pure Nightclub at the time, and that's how I got involved. They held huge auditions and I, of course, heard about the Pussycat Dolls, and they've had their couple big hits at the time.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Um, so anyway, auditioned and got in there and started performing, and so I was part of the Las Vegas. What is it? The Pussycat Dolls Lounge burlesque show.
Wow.
So I
Yeah.
was the lead singer MC of that show for about 5 years, and then it moved to
Wow.
Planet Hollywood, and I did that for a little while, and then I went on tour with the burlesque show with Carmen Electra for a little bit.
Oh, no way, really? How
Yeah.
cool.
And it was such a great experience. And it really, for me, was that transition from, I was working as a professional dancer and I
Hmm.
had done some singing stuff, but that was my first like big break. That was my
Right.
first huge
Okay.
job. And it thrust me into having to learn how to MC, how to learn to talk to a crowd, how to learn how to
Wow.
be that front person,
Yeah.
so it was a great experience. And you know, Robin has a saying that's like, once a pussycat doll, always a pussycat doll, or something like that. And so
Yeah.
I mean, I really feel that some of my best friends are from the Pussycat Dolls, and I can't say enough. It was a great experience for
Oh,
me,
I
and I'm
bet.
really grateful
Yeah.
for it. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, thanks for sharing that. Yeah, when I found that out on Friday, I was just like, so cool. I can't wait to hear the bit of the story on that. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, it
Um,
was a great time.
oh, I bet. And that's awesome is the fact that you learned so much other skills along that journey, you know.
For sure.
And that does come a long way. So that's really cool.
Mhm.
Yeah. All
And
right,
and that's
Jamie's.
one thing. Oh,
Oh, go ahead.
sorry.
Sorry.
I was just going to add to that really quick, and kind
Yeah,
of
go
touching
ahead.
on what we were talking about earlier. It's just that, as I've done these gigs, I've noticed that, each one is a stepping stone. And again, you learn from each one and you
That's
take from
right.
it and you get better, and then you go to the next. And I feel
Yeah.
like it's just, I've evolved as a performer because of all these different shows and opportunities that I've done, which seems obvious to say, but I think it's just, on your journey, you take from the good
Yeah.
and the bad, you learn from it, and you move on to the next, and
Right.
and you're always evolving, and you have to let yourself evolve as well.
Of
That was one
course.
thing I needed to learn, that you have
Yeah.
to you have to allow yourself to change, and it's okay to change and grow.
Yes. I totally agree. And I do want to add a little bit to that is I mean, the thing about this show is also the real of being real, of just knowing that we're human, right? And the fact that there's times it sucks. It's like there's times you just want to give up sometimes. There's times you're just kind of like second guessing yourself. Sometimes you even want to quit. I mean, what was your journey like during that time? Did you ever have some hard times of just like trying to, figure things out? There were
Oh
some
my
rough
God, yeah.
patches.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm human,
Yeah.
and there's been many, many times where I've wanted to quit, and I kind of did for a while. There was a period of time, actually, before I got involved with Zowie Bowie, where I had, been performing in Vegas for quite some time, and at that time, I was personally going through a divorce and just like a lot of personal
Oh,
stuff, and
man.
and I was burnt out.
Oh, I
I was burnt
bet.
out, and this industry, meaning the entertainment industry, um, it can be really rough. It can be hard. It's
Yeah.
not an easy journey by any means. And oh gosh, so sorry, my phone is going off. Did
There
it
we
cut
go.
out?
No, you're good. Still see you.
Okay, I can't see you. There we go. I'm so sorry.
No,
Apologies.
you're good.
Um, what was I saying?
That you were burnt out from a lot of these
Burnt out.
gigs.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. So at the time, I was like, I'm quitting the show I was in. Like, I'm
Wow.
done. Like, I'm so sick of like being promised all these things. And that's the thing with entertainment. People will talk a lot and say a lot of things and promise you the world, but not deliver.
Oh,
So it's
man.
really hard and it's
I
very
bet.
frustrating. And I got to the point where I was just like, I'm done. So I went and I traveled for a while on my own, which was
Oh, you
amazing.
did. Cool.
I did, and
Wow.
kind of regrouped myself,
Yeah.
and got back to me, and had my eat, pray, love moment, if you will. um, Truly. But then I came back and I teamed up with Zowie Bowie at the time, and he needed a female singer to come in because the other one was going out for her maternity leave at the time,
Okay.
and so I said, yeah, like that would be fun. And I'd never really done bands before. I'd always done production shows
Oh,
in Las
right. Okay.
Vegas.
Makes sense.
So the difference is, with the show, there's a lot of well, production behind it, of course, but
Yeah.
choreography and you blocking. So you go and you stand in this place for the lighting cue, and you wear this costume, and it's very structured.
Right.
And then the band was just so freeing because it was like, yeah, wear what you want and kind of sing it how you want and do what you want and go where you want. It's
Yeah.
very, very free, very different experience on stage
Wow.
for me. And so I really enjoyed that. And I teamed up with Zoe Bowie, and it kind of brought back that spark of just
Mm.
like, oh, this is why I love to
Yeah.
perform, because that's really what it's about. I mean, I love to perform and connect with people on stage. That's what I do. And it fills my heart and my soul so much. So I was able to get back to it
Yeah.
just by, having fun with the music, having fun on stage again. And, but it has not been an easy road, and it's not like it's been all roses since then. It's
Oh, I
it's been
can't.
up and
Yeah, I can't
down journey
imagine.
by far,
Yeah.
and so, but now I'm kind of, like I said, mentioned, I've the past 2 years I've been on this journey of trying to do more original music because I've
That's
always
good.
done covers and
Yeah.
other people's songs. And so now I'm writing and trying to, not trying, but am,
Yeah. Yeah.
putting myself out there as an original artist as
That's
well.
awesome. Awesome.
Thank you.
I want to actually add to what you mentioned about kind of like discovering yourself again, leaving, right? I feel like that's important. I feel like there's times where we're so caught up in so much of our just what we do in everyday routine and just so much of life, just bills and family and just things that sometimes you do need that little bit of that you time, that escape. And I'm glad that you did that because by doing that, where you just traveled a bit and had some Jamie time, it just you rediscovered yourself. You missed certain things of who you were that you went back to your roots, right? Of certain things that you were probably dwelling on, thinking on. And then when you came back into town, you were just like, and then here this opportunity opened up for you with Zowie Bowie. And that I always heard that saying, what's meant for you will find you, and you don't sometimes have to go look for it because what's meant for you will just arrive. And when it arrives, it flows so smoothly, where you're just like, man, this was meant for me because the way it just all came together.
Yeah. I kind of feel that in hindsight for me. It's like I I won't realize that until I look back, and it's
Mhm.
like, okay, these pieces fit together for this reason.
Yeah.
But at the time, especially if it's hard, it's like, why is this happening? And like,
Oh, of
what the heck is
course. Yeah.
happening? But yeah, I agree with that. And I think the hard part for me is just trusting in the journey,
Mm,
and having that faith, because it's like,
right.
I really want to know the how. I want to know how I'm going to do it and like know the process, and but you have to really just trust yourself and trust your journey, I guess, and trust the
Yeah.
universe or God or whatever your
Right.
belief
Right.
is. But
No, yeah. No, I totally agree. And then before we move on, I just want to say, like, for me, God has definitely opened doors for my life, especially with rhythm and roads. And there's times where I'm at a point where I'm stuck. There's times where I feel very like where I need that extra door to open, right? But then, like I said, there's ways where I feel like He will open those doors without before I even ask, He'll do it. And then I'm like, oh my God, thank you for this opportunity. And it's a blessing, because yeah, my faith, it's just that's all we have is faith to do this, to do what we do.
yeah,
And what faith to me means is really just stepping out and doing something that you feel the drive to want to try something, right? That there's something in you that's saying, try this. This is something that could be your dream. This could be your purpose. You never know what it is. And once you open that door and you're in it, then this was what I was born for. This was why I'm here. It's a beautiful feeling.
yeah, I love that. Thank
Yeah.
you for sharing that. That was
Oh
cool.
yeah. But now I'm excited to go on to this next chapter, which is the OG8.
Yes.
So yeah, that's so cool. I mean, I've heard your song "Woman," but of course, before we get into the story of the song, like, how did that start for you with OG8?
Yeah, so OG8 was about 3-ish years ago. I had a friend in Vegas reach out to me who's also in the industry,
Okay.
and he told me that his friend that he grew up with in Oregon had a band and was looking for a female singer. And his friend, they actually grew up together, and you know, um, his friend was Troy Williver, who's the guitar player in
Oh,
OG8 and
nice.
also the creator of OG8.
Okay.
Um, so and he's a musician, obviously, but he's played with everybody, and kind of left the industry for a while and came back and was doing some new projects, and they were doing this new project and needed a female singer. So we connected through him and we spoke on the phone, and then they came out and saw a Zowie Bowie show actually on Fremont. And
Cool.
so they saw the show and we met and, agreed to work together. I said, well, can I write? Because I wanted to get into more writing and
Right.
stuff. And he
Right.
said, absolutely. And so that's how I got involved. And then
Wow.
we immediately did the first album. So we have one album already. We did the first album.
Okay.
Um, and now we are working on our second album, and we have like a new management team put in place and just all this good stuff is
Awesome.
happening. We have like radio
Yeah.
promo going on for our new single Woman, and we're working hard in the studio right now for album number 2, and then gearing up for a possible tour, but definitely performing come this summer.
That's awesome.
So
Wow.
it's
Well, good for
exciting.
you. I'm glad you were able to
Thank you.
be a part of this amazing band. Yeah. And I love the fact that they let you have I guess, yeah, to write your own music to get that started because I know that's a desire of yours that you wanted.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a really great opportunity, and all of the guys in the band are just monster musicians. They've all been around for a while, hence the name OG8, because we're all like OGs, in
Yeah,
the
the OGs.
industry. um,
Yeah.
but
That's
or it's called Original Eight because originally there's 8 of us involved in the
okay.
first project.
Yeah.
So we nicknamed it OG8, and yeah, all the guys are amazing musicians, but also just amazing people and
Yeah.
friends. And we're all really supportive of each other. And yeah, so Troy and I are able to, we've co-written together and most of the album, and the guys definitely have their piece as well. Um, so it's a really collaborative, fun,
That's good.
you know, opportunity,
Yeah.
really.
No, that's awesome. No, yeah, thank you for sharing. And I do want to touch base on that song, Woman. So is that one of the
Yeah.
I guess the more singles that are, I guess, out there that you're trying to push out for people to listen to? The top single?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, woman is actually just, it's such a special song to me, personally. It's
Yeah.
woman empowerment. It's all about like, it's kind of tongue in cheek, but not, it's funny, but not, I'm serious about what I'm saying. But it's like, I am woman, hear me roar. I do what I want to do. I'll sing what I want to sing, wear what I want to wear, and if,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so it's just very about like women, honoring themselves and doing it for themselves,
Right. Right.
and if anyone knows me, you need to know that I'm very about my girls. I want to empower women, I want to uplift women, and everyone, don't get me wrong, men as well, and everybody, but
Yeah.
I really love my girls and I want to support them. And so the song Woman, um it's all about that. And so I love that our team and the band were really supportive of pushing that out as the single.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that, to be honest with you. And I'm so happy about that. But yeah, Woman itself is a very kind of bluesy, funky, fun, up tempo,
It is. Yeah. I like it.
just
Yeah.
feel good, like women
Yeah.
empowerment song. That's what that is.
No, it definitely does have a really cool, funky kind of style to it, and I like it. It's just very catchy. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
and a lot of our other songs, especially on the first album, are more. We're rock band, but it's
Right.
more. It's very classic rock influenced,
Okay.
especially the first album. The second album is taking a little bit of a different turn, but still rock based. But we all of us come from different backgrounds, so we definitely have some like blues and jazz influence, classic
Very
rock
cool.
influence,
Yeah.
pop influence. There's all kinds of stuff going
That's
on.
awesome.
Yeah, it's fun.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. And I bet it's definitely fun once you guys go on tour and start playing shows.
Yeah.
It's like even more, yeah,
Yeah,
awesome.
I can't wait
Incredible.
for that because as I said, I mean, I'm a performer
Yeah.
first. So
Right.
that is where I love to be.
Yeah.
And it's my favorite part about it. It's being able to connect with the audience and have that energy exchange.
Right.
It's just so fun.
That is cool. Yeah. No, I want to touch base on something real quick. It just came to my mind and I was thinking how it's very interesting that after the trip that you took for yourself where you went and traveled and then you came back and then the door opened for Zoe Bowie, right? For you to
Yeah.
start with
Yeah.
that. But think about this too, which you probably have but it's interesting how from that point led to Troy um discovering you, right? Finding you at a Zoe Bowie show, right?
Hmm.
And I feel like it's interesting how certain doors will they're there for you, but then they're also going to open bigger doors for
Uh-huh.
other things. And that's interesting, right? And I've been through that where one door you're part of, you're truly blessed to be a part of, like Zoe Boy, but then there's a bigger door that also opens up to be part of a rock band and record albums. You're just like, if I didn't start with Zoe Boy, would I be here with OG8? You know what I mean?
Who knows?
Who
I
knows?
don't know.
Yeah, I know. So
But
that's the thing is,
yeah, I mean, it is interesting. And it
yeah,
goes back to what we are saying, just like that whole journey and just like trusting those doors that open.
yeah,
And
right.
each one is a stepping stone
Stepping
to the
stone
next
to the next. That's
to the
right. And
next
it has a
level, you
yeah,
know?
and it has a purpose behind each one you're part of.
Yeah.
You know, when you
Yeah.
started with Zoe Boy, you didn't think, oh, I'm gonna be with OG8, a couple of months or a year. It's just
Oh no,
you're just
no,
in
and
the
I've been with
moment.
Zoe Bowie for a long time. Don't
You
get me wrong.
have, yeah.
Yeah.
No, you really
Uh,
have. But
I've
it
been in
just
Vegas a long time.
yeah. And it just but it's interesting how from that point of you being with that journey when the time was I guess ready for you to move on to another project, another band, that door opens, you know?
Yeah,
You just never know.
you never know. So you
Yeah,
got to follow it and
that's
see what
right.
happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Well, before we close on this episode, how can they find you on social media, on the Instagram, the music, and all that?
Yeah, definitely. If you're looking for OG8 Original 8, I would say go to our website. It's www original8official.com,
Okay,
and everything is linked there. So everyone's bio is on there, all their social media,
cool.
and it links to all of our music. You can find our music on any streaming platform. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube, mostly OG8 Official. And then Instagram is OG8 underscore original 8. So
Awesome.
if you look up OG8 or original 8, you could probably find us. Hopefully you can find us. You
Oh
should
yeah.
be able to.
Well, yeah, we
Um,
will. Yeah, no problem.
but and then I am Jaime Lynch is my platform. So
Okay.
please connect with me and DM me and say hello.
Yeah. No, no, yeah, we will.
Yeah.
Now, I did want to add real quick on the Zoe Boy because I know that's a huge highlight and that's something I'm really like, I love the show. There's like I said this past Friday, but I'm going to the Fremont this coming Saturday. But yeah, let's share real quick on that and just the whole thing with you and Chris. You guys have a so awesome, just the chemistry of just the vibe of energy up there on that stage. And yeah, what's the journey been like on with Chris?
Oh my gosh. Well, I love him. He's one of my dearest friends, of
Yeah,
course.
right.
It's been amazing. I mean, he is the sweetest, funniest person. What you see is what you get with him,
Yeah, he is.
and we love what we do. I mean, we honestly talk about it all the time because we just love being able to get up on stage and
Yeah.
make people happy and connect with people. And I've learned a lot from Chris over the years because he's one of the best entertainers
Oh,
I've
yeah.
seen.
He's
I mean, I
awesome.
will stand 10 toes down on that one. He's a master at holding a crowd
Yeah.
and being a front person.
Right.
And so I've learned a lot from him in that regard. And I've also learned a lot from him, being in a band as far as like just being able to go more with the flow and not have to have everything so, because before Zowie Bowie, I was in production shows and I was like, everything has to be rehearsed and I have to know exactly what I'm doing
Right.
and
Right.
when and how and where I stand and what do I sing and what do I do with my arm, this is the
Right.
dancer in me. I got to be
Yeah.
placed. But I've learned how to just, kind of go rogue on stage, and
Yeah.
it's made me a better performer, a
That's
better
awesome.
singer, a better entertainer all around. And yeah, I can't say enough. I mean, and Fremont is one of my favorite venues. It's so
Is
fun
it
out there.
really?
Oh yeah, I can't
Okay.
wait for you to come because it's just a built-in party. Everybody wants to come
Oh,
and
that's
have
true.
fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what Zowie Bowie is all about. We're a party band. We're having fun up there. Um, and so, yeah, it's just this, and it gets packed. It's just
Oh,
a
yeah.
huge sea of people just wanting to have fun and
Yeah.
let loose. And so, it makes our job really fun and it's
That's
cool. It's
awesome.
a good time. And I'm
Oh, yeah.
excited for you to come see it.
Yeah. I have never seen you guys at Fremont. I've always seen
Yeah.
Zoe Boy at either Red Rock, at one time
Mhm.
back when, Sunset Station, the M Resort, of
Yeah.
course. But yeah, this will definitely be my first time at Fremont seeing you guys perform and
Oh my
looking forward
gosh.
to it.
But you've been to Fremont,
Oh
right?
yeah, I've definitely been to
Okay, I was
Fremont. I
going to
just have
say.
not seen. Yeah, yeah, I know. I've been to
Yeah.
Fremont plenty of times. Yeah, I
Yes,
just
yes,
haven't
of course.
seen Zoe Boy there
Got
perform.
it. Got
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Well, you're in for a treat, I think, because it's a little bit different in the other venues because the other venues are smaller, they're enclosed.
Right, right.
Fremont is a big stage, and it's just a different vibe. You'll
I
see.
bet. Yeah,
It's fun.
that's awesome. And how long have you both, or how long have you been with Zoe Boy as well?
Mhm. I came in at the like literally the very end of when did I do it? Basically 2017, the end of
Oh
2016,
wow,
beginning
okay.
of 2017.
Been a
So
while.
about 10 years
Yeah,
I've been with Zowie Bowie.
that's
Um,
awesome. Wow.
and then there was COVID and I did
No,
have a
of
baby,
course.
so I left for a little while,
Okay.
um, but yeah, I've been in the band
Wow.
for numerous years and having fun out there.
Congrats on that. 10 years.
Thanks. Yeah,
Yeah,
my
that's
longest
awesome.
running show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Jamie, for coming on Rhythm and Roads Las Vegas, sharing your incredible story, and I just hope that whoever sees this will be inspired by it and just know that, they have a purpose, they have a goal of anything that they have, they will pursue it as well, knowing that if you can do it, they can do it as well. So I appreciate you
I
coming
love
on.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love that so much. And I totally agree with that sentiment and I hope that they feel that too. So thank you so much for having me.
No, yeah, of
I'd love
course.
to come back some other
Of
time.
course, yes. And guys, if you'd like to come on Rhythm and Rose Las Vegas, my Instagram is Joshua Jacob Official. Feel free to send me a message, and we would love to have you share your story because I believe every story matters and every story will impact someone out there watching this. So I truly believe that, and remember, you are a blessing. So thank you so much, Jamie Lynch, for coming on Rhythm and Rose. And guys, this is Joshua Jacob, Rhythm and Rose, Las Vegas.